This female teacher in World War II killed hundreds of soldiers. As the smoke cleared from the battlefield, a woman stood tall, her hands stained with the blood of hundreds of enemy soldiers. But you know what? She wasn't a soldier. She, in fact, was a teacher. Shocked? Yeah, you heard it right. Stay tuned for an unsung badass story of Nieves Fernandez, a female educator who became a deadly force to be reckoned with in World War II. Hello, friends. Well, if you often fantasize about the past and really want to know about the history of ancient civilizations, then you're in the right place. Welcome to Unthinkable Past, a channel better known for dishing out the outlandish ancient traditions of all times. The year was 1941, and the world was embroiled in the deadliest conflict in human history. Amidst the chaos of war, a young woman found herself thrust into a role she could never have imagined, that of lethal combatant. This teacher, who had spent her entire life dedicated to education, now stood on the front lines, fighting for her country and taking down enemy soldiers with deadly precision. Who was this remarkable woman, and how did she become one of the most feared fighters of World War II? Join us as we delve into the incredible story of the female teacher who killed hundreds of soldiers, and discover the shocking truth about her remarkable journey through the heart of the deadliest conflict the world has ever known. Let's see, how did it all come to pass? Starting with the Japanese occupation of the Philippines. Well, in December 1941, after the attack on Pearl Harbor, the Japanese turned their attention to the United States annex in Asia, the Philippines, causing severe damage to American aircraft and leaving the Allied forces without aerial support in the Pacific Theater. General Douglas MacArthur left the Philippines, leaving his men in Corregidor, and the sick and starving soldiers in Bataan surrendered, leading to the brutal Bataan Death March, resulting in the deaths of thousands. The Japanese quickly occupied the Philippines, spreading inhuman treatment, and landed in Tacloban City, beginning Leyte's 2-year occupation. The conquerors took over the lands and stripped the natives of their possessions. In addition, they prohibited anyone from owning a business and resorted to torture to force submission from those who refused to comply. Moreover, they strictly controlled education, only allowing teachings that were approved by Imperial Japan. So, in this kind of state of emergency, the women were also called upon to take on roles beyond traditional gender boundaries. Women served as combatants, nurses, and workers on the home front, contributing greatly to the war effort. The unprecedented scale of the war, in fact, required the mobilization of the entire population, including women, and the expansion of their roles in society. And this was the time when many Filipino guerrilla groups emerged to protect local residents, including Captain Nieves Fernandez's group, known as the guerrilla. So, Nieves Fernandez, a 36-year-old lady, was a former schoolteacher and a small business owner in Tacloban. When the Japanese occupied her hometown, she witnessed inhumane treatment and persecution against the local Filipinos by the Japanese. Subsequently, the Japanese took away Fernandez's wholesale business and further threatened to take away her students. This was the last straw for her, and that's when she decided to take matters into her own hands. When the Japanese came, no one could keep anything. They took everything they wanted. Nieves Fernandez stated in the Lewiston Daily Sun in November 1944. So, the fearless Fernandez took on the persona of the lone assassin, as she would dress in all black attire and go barefoot in the forest to set up various ambushes for Japanese troops. In comparison to the Imperial Army's modern weapons, Fernandez was only armed with a bolo and a makeshift shotgun crafted out of a gas pipe. Let's get to Fernandez's simple yet effective weapons in detail. During the war, as a matter of fact, numerous Filipinos were skilled at constructing efficient weapons from scraps. Even an ordinary gas pipe could be transformed into a highly lethal shotgun. In the region of Visayas, where Fernandez resided, such guns were commonly referred to as latons or paltiks. Meanwhile, the bolo, or machete, a long knife, was commonly used by Filipinos for agricultural purposes or to clear vegetation. Due to its availability, the bolo became a common choice of improvised weaponry for the everyday peasants, particularly during the Japanese occupation. So, with her unconventional war weapons, Fernandez executed ambushes alone for 2.5 years, taking out dozens of Japanese troops in the jungle. Her heroism and leadership skills inspired a following among Tacloban's men, and she decided to form her own group to fight against the Japanese soldiers. From being addressed as Miss Fernandez by her pupils, she earned the title of Captain Fernandez among the 110 guerrillas under her command. Getting further with this silent killer and her gas pipe gang, Captain Fernandez and her guerrilla army were highly effective in combat, so much so that the Americans were amazed that a woman was leading the group. She was, in fact, the only female guerrilla commander in the Philippines during World War II. The US forces referred to Captain Fernandez's group as the Gas Pipe Gang, due to their use of improvised gas pipe shotguns and handmade grenades filled with gunpowder and old nails. Moreover, Captain Fernandez trained her troops on how to silently eliminate enemies using the bolo, which was an everyday tool for farm work and vegetation clearing. Her technique involved cutting the carotid artery and the internal jugular, both of which are connected to the brain. Let me explain for your easy understanding. The trick is to stab sharply into that soft spot directly below the earlobe. Once you push the blade in about 2 inches, you give a sharp upward thrust while twisting the blade 90 degrees. This operation causes the knife to enter the base of the victim's brain, causing instant unconsciousness. And the twisting of the blade somehow causes the victim to suck in air, so screaming is impossible. If performed correctly, the only sound the victim will make is that of the physical struggle, and that is taken care of from the beginning because of the way you attack from behind. Anyway, coming back to the business. Well, due to her exceptional bolo fighting skills, Fernandez earned the nickname the Silent Killer. However, the Japanese recognized her as a crack shot due to her skilled marksmanship with her improvised weapons. Unsurprisingly, she was included on the Imperial Army's list of most wanted individuals. And it's time now to see the cash bounty on Captain Fernandez's head. Well, according to an article in the Lewiston Daily Sun published on November 3rd, 1944, US intelligence received reports that the Japanese became frustrated with Captain Fernandez's relentless attacks in Tacloban. In an attempt to capture her, the Japanese offered a 10,000 peso reward for information on her whereabouts, but none of her fellow Filipinos betrayed her. However, everything wasn't always so smooth sailing, and during one of her encounters with the Japanese, Fernandez sustained a wound that left a scar on her right forearm. Throughout the war, Fernandez and her strong company of 110 guerrillas played a significant role in freeing many prisoners of war. Additionally, they also sabotaged Japanese supplies and conducted hundreds of raids on enemies' camps, and her team managed to kill 200 Japanese troops. Remedio Falas, a former comfort woman, revealed in her book, The Hidden Battle of Leyte, the picture diary of a girl taken by the Japanese military, on how the guerrillas saved many young women that were raped and were about to be raped by the Japanese soldiers. She vividly recounted how the guerrillas annihilated Japanese troops in several villages. Let's now see how Fernandez's efforts became a lasting legacy. Well, despite her small stature and gender, Captain Fernandez became a legendary figure during the war. Her actions had a significant impact on the victory of the Allied forces in the Philippines, as her group played a key role in the liberation of Leyte, the first island in the Philippines to be freed from Imperial Japan. Though this achievement was made possible through the collaborative efforts of the guerrilla organizations and American troops, among these brave freedom fighters, Captain Nieves Fernandez and her guerrilla group stood out by taking down 200 Japanese soldiers. And Fernandez's role in the Allied forces' victory in Leyte was undeniable, as her efforts were really critical in securing the liberation of the island. So you see, Captain Fernandez's story is a testament to the bravery and resilience of the Filipino people during the war, and to the fact that defending a nation's freedom knows no gender. Her legacy as a hero, in fact, continues to inspire people, especially women, to this day. However, women like her prove that they are equally capable and willing to fight for their country's freedom, and that their contributions are just as vital to the war effort as those of their male counterparts. Their bravery and determination have paved the way for future generations of women to pursue their dreams and aspirations, regardless of societal expectations and gender norms. Well, there you have it. We hope you liked this video. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe to this channel without any delays. Make sure you turn on post notifications, and also let us know in the comment section about your views on the life of Miss Fernandez, and how do you see her struggle. Thanks for watching Unthinkable Past. Until the next time we meet, continue learning and stay healthy. Goodbye.